You're listening to Rhema Radio.
I am really excited about telling you about an event which is coming up in March 26th and 27th, 2020. It's called Gospel Essentials, and the main speaker will be John Piper. So if you're interested to find out more about this event and the workshops that we will have, please follow gospelcitynetwork.com or go on Facebook or Instagram and follow Gospel City Network. This is the first time you hear it on Rhema Radio.
Next week's midweek service episode is from Mark Tan, shared in Pantai Baptist Church, entitled David and the True Ruler. Listen to that and other sermons at rhemarad.io or anywhere else you get your podcasts. And now for this week's interview with Joescher Chee.
Hello, welcome to Rhema Radio. I am Julia and I am here with Joescher Chee. Say hi, Joescher.
Hello, Julia. Hello, Rhema Video.
And if you're wondering who Joescher is, let me just do a quick intro, right? It doesn't do justice to the man, but let me just start first, okay? So he's the founder and CEO of Global Strategy Advisory. He is the co-founder of Strategy Masterclass for CEOs and entrepreneurs. He's the founder and CEO of 10X CEOs. He's consulted over 200 organizations across 23 industries. He's the author of John 10:10 Life Wheel book, which is designed to impact 1 million lives. He's the international speaker and strategy expert. And last but certainly not least, advisor and mentor to multiple listed companies, CEOs and entrepreneurs. Joescher, seriously, I'm getting out of breath just talking about all this.
Thank you.
But actually, here's the thing, and we were talking about this off air. I'm the only one who can see you right now, and you are not mature to an extent. You are in your early 30s, and you and I being in the consulting line, do you feel that is age a hindrance, and how did you even get into this whole business of consulting multi-million CEOs?
Okay, all right, thank you. I'm in my mid-30s, early 30s. I would love to, but it's good. Maybe, yep. So I'm 36 this year. So how I get into this field, I think consulting, there are two ways that you get into consulting. One way is the traditional, and most people go through that route. They go to Harvard Business School or the best school in the world, and they become the top scholar, and then they will get into a consulting field. And the other route is the street route. On the street means that I just try and error and bang walls and bleed and end up be there. So I'm the second route, the street route. So I started my company when I was 23. So actually I started as a advertising and design and online firm. That's how I started. That's why people are very... And every time a client asks me, what was your background? They expect me to say MBA or this. I say, I studied as a graphic designer. So everyone was so shocked that, how a graphic designer can end up become a strategy consultant. I think the trait that I have, which also followed me very long, is that I'm very, very particular with result. I'm a very result-oriented person. And in fact, my 10X coaching platform, one of the core values, the first core value is results speak the loudest. So I always focus on results. So when I work on advertising, design, actually I tried many, many things. Not because of I just want the money. I want to know what works for clients. So I tried advertising, design, online, PR, interior. I even go into architecture because my brother is architect. I try to propose some architecture to my client. So everything, design and build, even for interior shop and everything and anything that you can mention.
The creative sphere, isn't it?
Yeah. So because when I design something great, even a very beautiful logo, but the sales can still come down. So of course I'm not saying that design is not important, because that's in fact very important, because this is what people feel, they see, they touch and experience. But that is not the only element that causes a business to success. So I start to try and every different area. Then I know that, I try marketing, branding. Then I know, brand is a big part. So I went into marketing, branding. But I think even that is just 50% maybe. What about the other rest? So I start going to the management, the structure, learn about IPO, the system, the every area, the HR, the KPI. So I try to learn about the business side. Then I know that, all this come to part. The more that I know, the more that I work on it, the more influence I have over a business, the more that I can control of course, I cannot control per se. The more I can influence over the result of the business. So, and last thing that I learned really is about leadership. Because if you see my business card, I wrote there business, brand, and leadership. So, these are the 3 core pillars that we work on. In fact, this also reflected the 3 P&L in today's era. So, what is the 3 P&L, right? That's next question.
Yeah.
So, I always believe that if 20 years ago when you work on a business, it's very easy. You just focus on one P&L, which is a business P&L, profit and loss. So it actually is quite straightforward. You take off the sales, make sure that cost is controlled, collection is always on time, and then that's it. You have a profit. It sounds easy, of course. I mean, I'm just oversimplifying it. But in today's era, you need the second and third P&L, which is second P&L is the brand P&L, which is passion and love.
Okay.
So you need to know how do you inspire and instill passion to your internal people and then to your customer. I'm sure when you use a brand that, for example, let's say Apple, wow, I'm so passionate about Apple. I just realized recently when I checked on some new Apple product, I realized I actually have all of their products. The iWatch, iPhone, everything. So, without knowing it, I'm actually so passionate about this brand. And of course, how much you love your business and how much your customer, your team, and yourself love the business, there's passion and love. This is a 2 P&L. And these two are enough to cause you big headache, because business is logic, but brand is magic. Business is transactional, brand is relational. So you see, there's so much headache for you to make sure to have these two handled well. But of course, with these two, you are very, very powerful already. But if you really want to be the top 1% of the business, you need to tap into the third P&L, which is the leadership P&L, purpose and lives.
Okay.
So you see nowadays,
So you've got profit and loss, passion
and love, and purpose and
life.
So you see now, especially youngsters, Gen Y, last time they won't ask you what's the purpose of your company. They just say, how much salary are you giving me? So now they ask, hey, what's the purpose of your company? Of course, you say profit for sure. That for all profitable company, that's for sure their primary purpose. But what is the higher purpose? So they will challenge you on that. And second, they will ask, how much life are you impacting? How do you impact life internally and externally? How are you going to impact my life? And how are you going to impact the life in the community? So you see, now the question is very, very different. If in order to attract, you see, I always say that to the older CEO, you see, Gen Y, of course, a lot of complaint. They say, you know what, they are like strawberry generation, right? Look good outside, but inside is a soft. But I said, you can complain all you want. I say, unless you are not planning to sustain or belong in the business, because in the next few years, I said, next 6 years, 2025, 75% of the market is Gen Y.
Okay. Which they have to deal with anyway.
Yes. So I said, you're going to learn. And I said, last time, when the staff tell you that, my package is not good, you can always counter, okay, I give you better salary. Now they'll tell you that, I don't see a purpose here. How are you going to counter? I don't have a great culture here. A lot of OCO, they don't even know what is the purpose and what is the culture. So how do you counter? There's nothing for you to counter. That's why I said, this is the 3 P&L for you to take, right? So that's why when I answer back to your question, a long way to answer your question is because I'm so result oriented, I keep going a different level of wanting to create result. So therefore, of course, I thank God I met a good mentor in my life. His name is Karthik Siva. He's a global strategy consultant. So he actually mentored me I met him in 2011. So that's when he started to teach me the right way to consult a client. So that's where everything changes.
Fascinating. Okay, hold on to that thought. We're going in for a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm Pastor YBhg, founder and president of Ministries for Asia Pacific, in short, MAP. And this is the daily Bible verse that I would like to share with all of you. It is taken from Hebrews chapter 11, verse 33. It reads, "Who, through faith, conquered kingdoms, administered justice, and gained what was promised, who shut the mouth of lions." Thank you.
We are back with Joescher Chee. Now, when we left, Joescher, you were talking about meeting your business mentor, and his name was what? Karthik Siva?
Yes.
I'd like to know what inspired you from there, and how were you so sure that this was your calling in this season?
Great question. In fact, I've always been searching my life purpose. Whatever I shared is also what I'm discovering all this while. Of course, if you read the book John 10 Life View, I started the story of the first chapter is called Died at age 17. So means that of course, the long story short, what happened was that I got attacked and assaulted by a group of gangsters, and I almost it's a close to death experience that I had. So from then on, I start to search my life purpose very seriously and take it. That's why I always, in my sharing, I always ask people, I said, this is a question that you will ask in one point of your life. But most of the people ask is before they die,
Correct,
or they were
deathbed.
diagnosed with some
Terminal
illness, the terminal illness and all that. So I said, I'm glad that I've happened to a close to death experience. That's why I asked this question. I said, what is my purpose of life? And what's the reason? Why am I on earth? I said, this is a question so big that we don't even want to answer. It's so big that we're so busy with our life. We study and then college and then paktor and then married. Or paktor means in a relationship and then married and parenting. And then we get old and then we die. So we're so busy, but we forgot to ask this question: what is my purpose on earth? So I've been searching this question. In fact, every year I will ask this question. The first 40 days I will do a fasting and prayers. Of course, every year the house heavy is a fasting dependent. Some relate or 40 days on first 7 day full fast or veggie fast, or depending every year different fasting. But the purpose is not just what type of fast I do. The purpose is that I want to open up these 40 days and seek God and ask God, really, God, why are you placing me on earth, and why are you placing me on whatever I'm doing right now, and what you want me to do? What do you want me to influence, and what do you want me to do here?
Is that how the talk with Karthik Siva helped you to mold you into this direction?
I think I'm really grateful that God sent me a mentor. And he really opened up my world to a different level in terms of consulting, global exposure. So that is what he opened up to me. But I think eventually I wrote my life purpose in a statement. That I have a long version and a short version. Short version is for public use. The long version is for my own use. So, but because I believe that a life purpose, it should. Maybe I can share what is I think a life purpose should contain. Most of the time when we write life purpose, just as when I first started to discover life purpose, I always focus out. I just say, I want to help these people. I want to transform this. So it's always external. But after a while, I just felt that that life purpose is like a breathing. It's like breathing, because you breathe it, you live it and breathe it, right? But giving is about breathing out. Taking is about breathing in. So can you imagine your whole life is about all breathing out? So it's very exhausting, and you will die, right, one day. So I said, that's why the life purpose must include yourself in it. Of course, that's also what I learned from my mentor. He said, hey, you should include yourself. He said, I hear a life purpose, but where are you in the purpose?
It's just like you're saying, you can't pour out of an empty cup.
Yeah. So then that's why my life purpose, I start with so my life, I can share with you the 3 statement, long statement. So I said, first statement, I said, I want to live life in all its fullness in the 10 area of life. Okay, so in the John 10:10, I read down the 10 areas of life. Second part, I wrote that to inspire, to illuminate the path for leaders in their life, family, and organization. So it's to influence and inspire and illuminate the path for leaders. And third line is to be best I can be to serve God and serve people. So if you want to analyze this, first line is all about myself, because I want to live life in all its fullness. And second line is about others. I'm serving others. And third part is half lah, because it's to serve, to be best I can be, but to serve God and serve people. Of course, you don't need to be specifically in this perfect structure, but it just so happened over the years, and I keep improving it. Every year I will still open up and ask God, is this what you want me to do? And God has placed me in this position. I'm really grateful that I can really speak to CEOs, entrepreneurs, chairmen of the companies. at this age, I would say, considered still young. So every time when I see my client, they will thought, are you a second generation? Is your dad passed you this consulting firm? I said, no, but I started young. But it looks good after the company is stepping into 14 years. It's all good now. God has been blessing. But when I first started, it's very, very tough. Very, very tough. Just like what you asked me, you say, how do you survive through the young phase? And so it was very, very tough. I have few very deep humiliation incident that happened in my life. I actually have a lot. But the two that I really, really remember, that I even doubt God that, why are you placing me in this situation? So because I accepted Christ when I was 21, so I started my company when I was 23. So because I accepted Christ and I'm a Christian, so there's some godly value has been planted in my life. So I know one thing. I don't know the principles of business. What's the truth of success as a new in the business? But I know one thing for sure is that I want to honor God. So one value is that I don't want to give bribe and I don't want to take bribe. So that's one of the very clear value that I have. And of course, in this industry, they will say, oh, there's a lot of gray area. So I make it very, very clear line. Even there's a gray area, I also draw a line there, which means, for example, because in this industry, there's a referral fee. Someone refer you the business, you give a referral fee. So the way I draw a fine line is that if you are not in the company, then I can give a referral because you are helping me to do marketing. I thank you. But if you are working in the company, then I can't because you have the influence to change the decision. So I will take it as a bribe. So I still draw a line very, very clearly. So because of that, I lose a lot of opportunities. Because, every time, I still remember one big project I got. And after I got the project, the manager said, okay, so let's talk about the referral fee. So I tell this person, say, I know it's a common practice, but I say I don't but I say I will do my best to help, to make sure that this project is so good that you will be rewarded by your company, not by me. Mm-hmm. So I have all these challenges. So I remember and that's also linked to why I'm now have so much, not so much influence. I have influence over CEOs and top level of the company. Because after a while, I know that if I want to get a project, I cannot talk to middle management.
That's true.
I must go to the top so that they won't ask for referral. They don't ask for bribery. Yeah. So then that's why at 24, 25, I would say, okay, you want to engage my service, I want to see your CEO. So every the manager said, who are you to see my CEO? I say, no, if this is important to him, then I want to talk to him. So I can only go direct. Of course, they also face a lot of rejection. And one time I remember, I was in a presentation. I did one of my clients that he really loved my work, so he bring me to this association with a lot of influential CEO in East Asia, not even Malaysia. It's over cross-border. So CEO, and they ask a lot of questions that it's not to want your answer, but they want to ask the question so that they can attack you. Mm-hmm. So for example, I have two questions, one even related to my name. So first question he asked, he asked me, the time I talk about the topic of branding, he said, do branding need a lot of money? I said, that time actually I don't know. Actually the answer is no, because if you know, advertising need money, but branding, if you know how to position your company and all that, you actually don't need. But I didn't know. I said, yes. Then he said, you're wrong. He said, my brand don't spend any money on branding, but I'm a very well-known brand. I said,
just out to attack you, yeah.
Yeah, so then I keep quiet. I said, maybe not everyone as smart as you lah. I said, then he said, okay, go on. So after halfway talking, then the other guy just said, it's the other CEO lah. He just said, oi. He didn't even come and he said, oi. I said, yes. He said, is naming important in branding? So, I say yes and no lah. Then, of course, the time I don't know better lah. But now I know how to answer very, very well. But the time I said yes and no, which I still believe the answer is correct lah. Then I said, for example, why I say that? I said, for example, there are two persons, both named Joescher. Then the moment I said that, I said, wait, stop. He said, that's the problem. Your name sucks. I cannot even pronounce your name. Your name sucks. That is the problem.
I told it to your face.
Yeah, with a group all surrounding me, I'm doing a presentation. So I said, okay, let's not use Joescher, let's use Michael. I said, Michael A and Michael B, one is a killer, one is a doctor. I said, so the name is important, but what they do with the name is even more important. So I said, he said, okay, go on. Then, okay. Then after halfway, one of the PA come to me and say, Tan Sri said you're wasting their time, so can you please stop? I said, okay. Then I just stop. Then I leave. So So then I really questioned God. I said, God, why I need to, because I need to go to the top. That's why I go for all this presentation and meet all the CEO. And of course, the other listed company CEO, when I first started, I present halfway, then he said, then he just walked out. Because he said, whatever I say is no value. So I asked God, I said, God, maybe why I need to be so tough on me? I said, if I just give bribery, then I don't need to see all these people.
That's right.
But of course, I just stay on. I just hang on to it and just keep doing that. I mean, so I always use the word B-U-T, but, godly but. This is one of the preaching my pastor shared. He said, every time I was complaining, but if you end, I say, but, God, I know Jeremiah 29:11, for you know that the plan you have for me is to bless me and not to harm me, and it's a hope and a future. So every time I complain, and I would say, but, but, God, I believe that John 10:10, you say, you give me life in all its fullness, but, godly but. So, yeah, so time flies. I think, of course, over the years, I just tell God that that's why one of my company and platform is called 10x CEO. It's actually based on Daniel 1, chapter 1, verse 20, when it says that of all these people, that you are 10 times better than the rest of the magician so like magician is like us, like consultant, right? So I say it's 10 times better. So I say in order to, I pray that I say, God, give me clients that not just look at my age, not just look at the bribery or whatever and all that. God, find someone that really look at my work. So I said, in order to do that, I need to be 10 times better than the market. I want to be 10 times better. So that is how I continue. And of course, eventually I find the people with the right values. So I now become a close friend like Hao Chun Chin Group. So I have the other company, listed company called Advanced Con, Datuk Poon. So there's company that really started to trust, just look at my work, not beyond my age or just, but people with the right values. So that is what I search for. And now I think I still remember last year or last 2 years, then of course nowadays every time I will invite, nowadays every month I was invited to different CEO platform to do sharing. So I remember one of the sharing that I did with all the CEO.
Yep.
They give me a rating. It's just like the same setting, but I got humiliated. But they rate content and delivery out of 10, 1 to 10. So I got 9.7 and 9.5.
Quite a far cry from the humiliation earlier.
Yes, and the remark there written, in these 3 hours, I learned more than in my lifetime. I said, wow. I mean, I'm not saying this to boast, but I'm saying this to give glory to God. And I look back, now I know why God has placed me all that. So that is really trusting in God and seeing it through.
I love how that came true. All right. Thank you. We will take a short break right here.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Ong. I worship in SIB KL. I'm a resilience trainer. I'm a motivational coach. Today, I just want to pray for some of the listeners out there. Let us pray. Father in heaven, I just want to thank you for this opportunity, Lord Father. Indeed, you're a good God, Lord Father, giving me these opportunities, this great testimony, the masterpiece of yours, Lord Father, that I can testify your goodness, Lord. Father, as today I just want to pray for those listeners, Lord Father, that this story has resonated very well in their life and they know exactly what is going on and they are stuck in some situation. Father, I pray, Lord Father, for breakthrough, Lord Father. I pray, Lord, that your Spirit will be there. Open up their minds and the Spirit, Lord Father, to let them know that, Lord, you love them too, Lord Father. You love them so much, Lord Father. And Father, you have a plan to prosper them, Lord Father, and not to destroy them, Lord Father. You have a plan for the good for those who love you, Lord Father. Lord, I pray, and Lord, for those that are listening right now, may you give them that wisdom and the courage to move forward and to know that, Lord, you are with them, watching over them, loving them too, Lord Father. I just want to thank you. Thank you, Father, for this opportunity. May you continue to watch over them. I thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
We are back with Joescher Chee. Now, Joescher, you've been talking about what you've managed to accomplish, your own journey, in empowering other CEOs and helping them grow 10 times, imparting the principles of John 10:10, right, in their businesses and in their physical, in their own spheres. What about you personally? What is your end game and what do you want to see?
Wow, that's a good question. In fact, in the 10 area of life, I've written down every area. And the day I die or in the day I go to heaven, what do I want to see in all these 10 areas? So I think if I capture it in a short, is that I just really want to live a life of John 10:10. I want to have a John 10:10 life that really exemplify the life in all its fullness. I pray that God will use me to allow people to have a glimpse or taste and see, wow, that's possible. John 10:10 life is possible. And of course, not only through me, but also through everyone who read the book and practicing this. Because the John 10:10 book that I written is not just, I launched it last year, but the whole concept and the teaching was being passed 10, 12 years that I've been doing in Malaysia, Dubai, Taiwan, Philippines, different places. And I just put it into the book so that it can reach further. And it's not only a book, actually it's a system as well. It is a concept, it's a method, it's a system. So I have all this link that you can download the Excel sheet to use and to practice. I have the video, you can download the link. So the book will travel further, and the link I can keep updating the video. I don't need to keep printing a new version of the book. So my end game is really, I hope that before I go to heaven, that I can really truly live the life of John 10:10, and I can inspire much more life to have a life of John 10:10, because a lot of people, they thought that life is just one area or something. You see, last 2 years I went to these two places, and one is Japan, one is the Nepal. I do the workshop in the John 10:10 workshop in both places. And you know what's so interesting about this? Okay, I would say Malaysia, I don't know if it's right to say. Of course, Nepal is the third world country developing. Japan is the first world country. Malaysia is second world going to first world. So
Trying.
Going to first world. So, but this is very interesting, because I see, even though it's Nepal and Japan is two different worlds, one is poor, one is rich, but I felt that they have the same challenge. When I go to share with John 10:10, because in Nepal, I'm generalizing.
Sure.
In Nepal, because they are poor, so the only way out is education. If I can do a very good in my study, I will go into a corporate and I will be out of poverty.
Yes.
And Japan, also, they're so focused on career. You know, they spend few years to prepare to go into the university, and if they can't, then the life is gone. And same here, if you cannot get into a good career and score good, it's gone. So the reason I went there to do this is that I want to let them know that God is beyond that.
Yes.
And there's so many areas of life. Maybe you're not meant to be a good study. Just like me, I was kicked out of school when I was from 5. I was a school dropout.
Really?
Yeah. So, but first I went to college and continued to study, but I dropped out of school when I was 17. So I said, maybe you're not meant to do good in education, but God has a different purpose for you. So I did that, and I don't expect them to practice the system and all that, but I just thought that the exposure can change their life. Even people ask me, you go all the way to Japan and do this. And I said, even if just one life change is worth it. So I just hope that they see this, and one day touch wood, if they think of, I want to suicide because I cannot do, because that's true, they actually went to suicide, they still go for suicidal.
Yes.
And I thought of, I remember this John 10:10 life view, that life is beyond just career. There are so many areas of life. If one life change is enough. That's why in my personal core values, there is love, L-O-V-E, love, but it stands for different words. Love, L stands for live life is not in all its fullness. Of course, the John 10:10 life.
Yeah.
O stands for one life at a time. Because I believe that if I really want to touch someone's life, it's just one life. One life is enough. Then V is value, relationship, and memories. And E stands for energize myself and others. So that's my personal core values that I try to live out, so that whatever I do, like I say, the end game is really John 10:10 life. If I can live it, it's great. And if I can inspire and influence and illuminate the path for others to live it, it's even greater. So that is my end game.
Fascinating. We were just talking about the book, right? I mean, you've been making references to the book, but I also went onto your website. I did see the John 10:10 life wheel. How else can they know more about this entire principle?
Very simple. They just go to www.john1010, JOHN1010 lifewheel, LIFEWHEEL.com. They can actually purchase the book. And you know, every book they purchase, one will be giving out to an underprivileged student. So it means that whatever book, this book is selling at 50 ringgit. Maybe you go to bookstore, maybe higher, I'm not sure yet. But now it's selling at 50 ringgit. But the one book you buy, I won't give you 2. I'll give you 1. But rest assured that one book you buy, when I go to, let's say, Philippines, Vietnam, and other places, when I did a workshop, I will give it to the underprivileged students.
exactly paying it forward there.
Yes. So when you buy a book, not only you will change your life, you also change someone else's life.
It's very interesting, right? So your faith is really the bedrock of what you do. In the marketplace especially, do you find your faith as a bridge or a barrier?
Wow, this is a very sharp question.
Because I deal with CEOs as well.
In the marketplace, I really felt that because I'm actually heavily involved in the marketplace ministry, I have an English and Mandarin marketplace ministry. I really believe that that's why I anchor a lot on purpose. What is the God purpose for you in the marketplace? Because in marketplace, generally there are two. I've said many, but generally there are two. One, I'm talking about, of course, Christian in the marketplace. One is that you are there to shout loud, then you live your life loud and clear for Christ. And the other one is more like an undercover. It's like police, undercover and obvious one. So in uniform and without uniform. So because especially for consultant, so there's okay. I can only speak for myself As consultant, I also live quite loud but I try not to loud as cross border because I don't want that to hinder the gospel. I don't want that because I'm so loud that people before they hear me they already close the door. Because ultimately to me, gospel is really about, of course, the good news, but it's about the love that we're going to share to someone else. So for me, my intention, I always check my intention. My intention to go to a country or companies is always about sharing the love and passion to them. And in the journey that they can experience God's love through us, then they can know God. Knowing God is their journey with God. But my job is to share my love, my care, and my passion to them. So a lot of people, they may have not a chance to hear the gospel, but they can experience God's love through us. So that is always my philosophy and my principle. And I also believe that whatever we do, I always get to ask this question a lot, because I'm really involved a lot in ministry. So they'll ask me, hey, Joescher, have you ever thought of going full-time? So then I said, what do you mean by full-time? He said, full-time lah. Full-time serving in church. I said, what do you mean? I said, I'm full-time already. What? I said, whatever I do is part of life. I said, I'm just doing my part, whatever God called me to do. And God asked me to reach out to CEOs. And He gave me the ability, and I went through that. There's a journey. So I know that that's what I called to do. I think my influence will be much greater in a corporate than in a preaching in the church. I believe so lah. Maybe when the future God's called me, the different story. But now at least I know that when God placed me here, I just need to do my best, and I believe I'm in a full-time every day, 24/7.
Let's just plant and be faithful to the calling.
Amen.
One at a time. Okay. I love this conversation. Thank you so much, Joescher, for being here. I wish we had more time, but we will surely do round 2 maybe when there's a larger platform or whatever.
Yeah, or in the heaven we'll have a long time.
All eternity. All eternity. All right, so this is Julia wrapping up. Thank you, Joescher, and signing off for Rhema Radio.
亲爱救主，你是我全部，不论多痛苦，你还是为我付出。亲爱救主，献上我全部，就算我无助，你仍然听我倾诉。I love you Jesus, I love you Lord， 你受尽了折磨，全都是为了我，因为我犯下了许多的错，你却为了我扛起所有的过错。I love you Jesus, I love you Lord， 我觉得我自己不配你如此爱我，你总是把最好的全都给我，因为你从来不曾嫌弃我。Jesus, I love you Lord， 你受尽了折磨，全都是为了我，因为我犯下了许多的错，你却为了我扛起所有的过错。I love you Jesus, I love you Lord， 我觉得我自己不配你如此爱我，你总是把最好的全都给我，因为你永远都会爱着我。
This segment song is from Queenie Koo. Do connect with us at facebook.com/rhemarad.10. Comment, like, and share our weekly shows so we can do more. Contact us at hello@rhemarad.io. We would love to hear from you. Listen to all past shows by searching Rhema Radio on the following apps: Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast, SoundCloud, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. This episode was audio edited and mixed by Jonathan Yeo. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. God bless.
I found it on Rhema Radio.